Hey everybody, Paul Baker here. So this video, I can't believe what the Dutch government are doing to the Dutch farmers this time around. They are basically forcing them to sell their farms. 2 to 3,000 farms that the government want to purchase and turn into forests, yeah, to save the planet. Now the full video will be in the link of the description. It's over at thecorbettreport.com. Okay, let's see what this video is all about.
Good idea. Let's grow less food as we head off to the Netherlands to close up 3,000 farms to comply with EU rules. We take this from The Telegraph. The Dutch government plans to buy and close down up to 3,000 farms near environmentally sensitive areas to comply with EU nature preservation rules. The Netherlands is attempting to cut down its nitrogen pollution and will push ahead with compulsory purchases. They're going to force people to do it if not enough people offer to give it all up voluntarily. Farmers will be offered a deal well over the worth of their farm, according to the government plan, targeting the closure of just 2,000 to 3,000 farms or other major polluting businesses. Earlier leaked versions of the plan put the figure at 120% of the farm's value, but that figure has not yet been confirmed by ministers. There is no better offer coming. That's what Christiane van der Wal, nitrogen minister, told the MPs on Friday. She said compulsory purchases would be made with pain in the heart, like all those folks in that Spanish marathon. The Netherlands needs to reduce its emissions to comply with EU conservation rules in agriculture. It's responsible for almost half the nitrogen emitted in the proud farming nation. The Telegraph, I think. This is maybe all part of it, James. They have to include, this is a proud farming nation, because so much of this, I think, is about embarrassment and about being sort of struck down in a lot of ways. So just so we know what types of psychopaths we are dealing with, Nullifer Gundogan, live on television with facial paralysis. Yes, another politician who has pushed the carrots on everybody the last nearly 3 years shows up on TV. Vax-pushing Dutch politician says her Bell's palsy is actually stress-related herpes. You can't make this up, James.
No, and it is a horrific reality, really. But the reason I laughed is because does palsy ring a bell was a funny way of putting it. So thank you for the joke. But yeah, absolutely, just absolute insanity. And here it is. Here's my key takeaway from this article. 2,000 to 3,000 farms or other major polluting businesses. So now farms are literally being classed as major polluting businesses. That's what a farm is, right, guys? It's not the connection of humanity to the earth from which we get the sustenance that we need to continue functioning as human beings. No, it's a major polluting business that needs to be strictly regulated and shut down at the behest of the government. And of course, as people who were following it earlier this year, as I was writing about, we're all Dutch farmers now, we're all Sri Lankan farmers now. This is coming to whatever neck of the woods you happen to be in. Trudeau and everyone else is on board with this and looking at putting in these same restrictions and using the same canards about nitrogen and what have you as the excuse to go in and start shutting farms down under the guise that these are major polluting businesses. So that I think underscores what this is really about, which is essentially the anti-human agenda. And isn't it interesting? We always point out how they always create the crisis that they've been talking about or warning about or falsely warning about in order to say, hey, look, see, we told you. So, for example, they can do weather manipulation in order to say, hey, look, this climate crisis really is real. Or they can do things like creating a food crisis and then saying, look, there are too many people on the planet. We can't feed them all because, look, there's not enough food. I wonder why. Oh, because you're shutting down all the farms, right? So it ties in actually to what we were talking about the other week. It's not the overpopulation crisis. It's the underpopulation bomb. But they're going to make it look like, oh, there's just too many people. We couldn't possibly feed the world because we're continuing to shut down farms and businesses. So let me play the dumb ignoramus and tee up the easy softball rhetorical question for you to set up story number 3. Well, if we're not going to rely on, actual organic real stuff growing from the ground in order to feed humanity, how can we possibly feed people?
So what do you think, guys? Do you think it's warranted? Do you think it's fair? Do you think the environment needs this? Do you think this could be all a part of the Agenda 21/Agenda 30 that they openly talk about now, the UN? What do you think? Do we want to go down this path? Is this a crazy conspiracy theory? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Cheers, bye.